Hey there, everyone. Welcome to another Let's Play Disco Elysium. I'm Samuel.
And I'm still reeling from the last episode. I mean, that was kind of heartbreaking at the end, man.
That was a perfect end to an episode. What can I say? It's like we're on television. Anyway, we've got another thing we can do with this radio. However, I think I agree with our partner here. We kind of need to go take care of the dead body in the back.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Inside,
been
you
marinating
see
for
a set of
7 days.
steering
It's
wheels,
fine.
A radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
Didn't mean to click on that again. But yeah. Then we can call in, like, the interview that the one guy gave us and everything. So. Who
Oh, don't make me try to speak French.
Oh, great.
Kuno's got this.
The boy throwing rocks at the dead body can't be older than 12.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy Kuno!
I'm sorry, what was that?
Hey, kid, a word. Police business.
Right in the dick, Kuno! Get him right in the dick!
Oh, God, it's this kind of kid.
It's love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Stop throwing rocks at my crime scene.
Fuck that! Kuno, yeah! Right in the mouthhole!
They pay you no heed or pretend not to notice you.
Shits himself.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
Oh, God, we're going to have
What?
to do something with a kid, aren't we? Okay, fine.
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno is not a gardener.
Kim, what should we do?
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces.
What forces?
You will see.
The language these kids are using, pure unfettered id. There will be no reasoning with those creatures.
You kids' siblings?
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno! He says we're fucking each other!
No, that is not what I'm saying. Look, I got questions for you.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got.
Irregular speech patterns, overconfidence. Could this kid be on drugs? This warrants further investigation into this Kuno.
The body, what do you know about it?
Shitload pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
Kim, help me out here. What do we want to know?
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
The usual being, have you seen anything out of the ordinary? Or have you seen anything suspicious?
Do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
I meant who he was before he died.
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Trying to make Kuno sing into the
Oh.
popo phone.
That was well done, so he does know.
Possibly. Do you know how it got up there?
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down.
So you didn't see it happening?
You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
Oh, okay. Where did you go then?
I don't know. Some fucking
He looks around trying to come up with something.
Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
You know everything we said about us being a garbage human being? We're fantastic, Shay, compared to these little words I'm not going to say. Let's continue on.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science fiction novel.
Okay, about the dead body.
Yeah, Kuno didn't smoke him if that's what you mean.
He draws snot up his nose. He's even snot nose. Every version of a child I could possibly hate, Shay, is in this little SOB right here. God almighty.
Thanks, Kuno. That's one name you can now cross off the list.
Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno.
Looks like you're a faggoty now, whatever that means. The suspicious question doesn't really work in antagonistic situations.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
Jeebus.
About this crime scene you kids often play in this yard.
Right, pig? This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it?
Might have questions later.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Gotta ask, who is Kuno?
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
The boy points to his chest with both thumbs.
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Interesting. You refer to yourself in the third person to distance yourself from the situation.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that book shit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying. Trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
The boy knows he has an addictive personality. Admirable insight for his age.
watch out, Kuno, he's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna put his hands on you.
The thing behind the fence starts squealing shrill and violent like a fire alarm.
Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
The sound gets louder as the child shouts at the windows overlooking the yard.
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Just answer the question.
Just answer the question.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
It's full blast now. The wind carries the message far and wide across Martin.
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
No, we can't. He's pure id, right? So
Yeah. Don't punch him. It's a bad idea.
Look,
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psychopathic ghost with an ace up his sleeve.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that, I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look. The Kuno's dad gets. The murder look.
oh,
The rage look.
Relax. He can't read your mind. He doesn't know you were thinking that.
that is heartbreaking, though. Jesus, how did you make me care for the damn kid that was being a snot-nosed kid a moment ago?
I know. Screw this game, Shay. I mean, I'll admit, all of that ran through my head of he probably acts like a little snot because of... But I didn't... Ugh.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know what? You should have, because now
He raises his voice again.
you're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
The whole charade was about establishing dominance over you. You backing up means he's succeeded.
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
I want to pick up one of the rocks and toss him at the head of that little one
No.
behind the fence, first of all.
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
Smells like spoiled meat and curdled dairy. A human being decomposes.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Let's give it a shot.
Maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud.
Go over them one by one.
1. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 46. 2. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 3. Hobnailed work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 43. 4. Standard work boot, number 45 or 46.
Wait, which is it?
You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must have preserved them.
Count more.
5. Another standard work boot, steel reinforced toes, number 44. 6. An aberration, light as air, even pace, same make of boot, but number 41.
Male or female?
Impossible to tell. Could also have been an adolescent. The gait is undeveloped.
I'm pretty good at this, ain't I?
You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it, in a strange, beautiful way.
Count the rest.
7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot, number 46. But the imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. 8. And yet another standard work boot, number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole, however. The right sole is smoother, more worn.
How many?
The lieutenant has been tracking your eye movements. 8.
I was pretty off then. I counted 20.
The same guys are going back and forth.
I never got the hang of it. Hyperopia. Do you see
People.
anything out of the ordinary?
The aberration?
An aberration, one soul is smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the old soul.
Do you have any ideas, Lieutenant?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
He regrets it the moment he says it.
I don't think drummer's a bad idea. I mean, because you will be using one foot a lot more than the other.
So one of the people we're looking for is a drummer.
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
He's actually thinking the exact same thing.
He doesn't seem to hear you, looking south toward the traffic jam instead. The machines are silent. The engines are all turned off.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Yes, prudent.
Mm-hmm.
Light step, number 41
A
shoe.
woman or a kid?
Don't think there's any way to be sure.
Understood. Anything else?
Heavy one, 200 kilogram imprint.
200? Could it be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built, soon-to-be-dead man.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
One of them was carrying him over.
Possibly, yes.
The lieutenant marked something down in his notebook.
But why?
Why did they have to carry him?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
Maybe the victim refused to walk to his own lynching.
You have a point there. Anyway, it's something to consider. What else can you see?
How old do you think these tracks are?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you know?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
This is catnip for me, Shay. We're doing a mystery now.
Incredibly detailed. Holy cow.
What do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree.
The only thing we're missing is the CSI flashback. You know what I'm talking about? Where as they're talking about it, you can see in like a vague, blurry visualization what's happening.
Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy. Isn't it strange to have your assumptions confirmed like this? This is what someone whispering suggestions in your ear would like you to feel.
Think we... Just in case, you think?
Yeah, I'd like to hedge my bet on that.
Uh-huh. We should withhold being
Do you
content.
think there's something we are missing?
Yeah, the fact that the guy, I mean, clearly he had poor posture. They might have just been doing it to help straighten out his spine. Help him walk without pain, and that would be the reason why they were wanting to carry him here. It's just things went terribly wrong.
No, everything fits too well. That feels right to me.
It does. I shouldn't have assumed in the first place. The caller could have lied. The whole thing could be misreported. Should we take another look? Or go?
We've been through all of it. Let's see. Someone is trying to grow herbs in this greenhouse. Kid's ladder is rickety, but still climbable.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst.
Oh, it's just been
His
sitting
lips
there.
are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
That's not happening. God, what is that? Why is it so bad?
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow. Cop's gonna blow, Kuno.
I mean, do we try?
I think if you vomit, we'll lose points in front of Kuno, and I definitely don't want to give that little thing.
I love how we've just got like a phrase at this point. We're just trying everything but to swear at these little jerks.
I gotta say, as far as the names, I mean, Kuno has most of the right letters in there.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes.
Okay, so this ladder is apparently climbable. We've
Kuno's
got a
got this.
Oh, what are you? The winch mechanism has been oxidizing for some years.
I'm curious, can we go back into the bar? Because the sleeping guy that worked at the harbor, I think he would be an interesting person to talk to now.
Oh, you have a point.
But then again, he wouldn't have been, no, because he had fresh mud on his shoes. He wouldn't have been there for a solid week, passed out.
The letter R wears a crown on the ribbon below, a light above the descending.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still.
Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash
The
container.
body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
Lieutenant, what do you think could be in there?
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too.
Yes, I feel like there's something in
What
there.
do you mean, feel?
Just a hunch. Maybe someone threw something in there.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get the lock
We
open?
could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage,
Or Lieutenant?
or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags.
There you go.
He probably has one.
He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea.
There we go. I'm glad that the game let us do that.
Yeah. How do we get you down, I wonder?
Probably something in the lockbox, I would guess.
It's
But
possible.
and again, we could talk to the guy that's sleeping in the bar. Maybe he'll help us get him down.
It's possible. We'll go over here and get the key.
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours?
Mine? No, it belongs to the Whirling in Rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
He wasn't even one for his sarcasm this time, was he?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put their trash there and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
Wonder what that feeling is.
Prod at him and find out.
We need those keys.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Okay, place your bets now. Is Kuno going to steal the keys from us?
Better not. Gives me an opportunity to tackle the little thing.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
Not now.
Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade? With a twist of lemon? Maybe lime. Maybe who cares? Just rum?
I'm not gonna lie, you're speaking my language now.
Is in a deep slumber. Perhaps he's on his way to where you just came from. Into the primordial darkness. You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room.
Well, we tried. And it's a red one, so you can't try it again. The white ones you can try as much as you want. It's the red ones that you got one shot, and if you don't make it, tough.
Don't make it. Gotcha. Oh wait, no, we're going to the lockbox. Or no, we're not. Sorry.
Yeah, we are. Or
Or
you're
we're
calling
going
it a
to a
lockbox, but...
box. Yeah, I'm in the toolbox in the car was
This
what I was
trash
thinking.
container
Oh,
is
right.
locked. The sliding lid, with a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Also, we leveled up, and we have a point we can spend, apparently, so now we got our answer.
Excellent.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
Oh my god.
Oh, whoa.
The
Okay.
victim's clothes?
Yes.
Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Yep.
Drop them in here, officer.
The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored,
Oh.
appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Bag of the shirt.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye. But other than that,
A thrown out towel, a mug, that's all.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
You think someone from the Whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Okay, proceed.
the lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search the food waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Wait a minute. Didn't he say he only got here, what was it, 3 days ago?
And before then, it was, I can't remember her name, but yeah, the girl that went into town.
And they said that this had probably not been emptied out for at least 7 days.
All right.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it.
Okay.
You've even got an autopsy form in there.
A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
It must have been cramping. No, don't select that one.
I know, right?
Would say number 4, but that makes us look even more negligent.
Someone from the whirling through in the trash? I don't know. I'm boring.
Boring. Try dangerous. You should do
Yeah.
a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime, or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives.
Okay, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
The mug. I'm getting that mug too.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron,
An antique.
only in its social sensibility.
Take the mug.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
The container sounds a muffled gong.
Make sure we lock it back.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Use the interact button in the inventory to inspect the book.
Oh.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Hey, Lieutenant, what's this?
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example?
All RCM vehicles have had lights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
That's all, thank you.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
2 cases a week appears to be my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though.
2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
How dare you?
I'm sure I made plenty of mistakes.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
God knows I've made my share. He tries not to think of them. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
There's a mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
We found the part of me in here, Shay.
A title.
All the
you
notes,
say,
all the planning.
one that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming
You
convention.
mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a non-numeric one.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
They seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Dang.
Wait a minute. Is that supposed to be like a Phineas Gage reference?
I know, right? There's been some interesting references in this dang thing already. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
How utterly convenient, Shay.
Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event.
Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Fine, I'll just use this crappy pencil.
Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly, imperceptibly even. The lieutenant begins to browse his notes again, leaving you to the case files. The blink has passed. He is thankful it has passed, and that he's gotten to keep both pens. Onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Hanged Man?
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking
shit
too.
on a stick?
The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
I'm done inspecting these.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Kim explained the system. Can I read the case files now?
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, The Next World Mural.
Wait. HDB41. Weren't those officer precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Horace Derby Behringer?
I'm. Those aren't my initials. I'm not feeling them. Is what I'm gravitating toward.
You will be the dose of insanity for us. You realize this, right?
Well, I mean, he didn't say, or with the alphanumeric system, didn't they say that the precinct would be there? But did he say that it would be our initials, or that it would be our precinct's initials?
Those aren't my initials. I'm not feeling them.
Isn't really the jurisdiction we're in right now. Probably for the best, because HDB feels like bad news from yesteryear. Like shit, honcho.
How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Huh. So that means half an hour, it's going to click game time on me.
Is there anyone that we want to pursue at the moment? Or is this like after the day is done, revisit
Not
it?
much has changed.
I'll probably revisit it.
Meanwhile, a bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Browse the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
How dare you?
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Ooh, I could charge that little guy's for messing with my crime scene, and his dad'll have to pay for it. And I can pay for my hotel room.
But that's going to go wonderfully for his home life now.
I know.
But they appear
Let's do it.
pleasantly vague.
Station call?
These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Field
A
autopsy.
dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it.
Peek inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open it?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Oh. Minus
Yeah,
one,
do it.
lonesome long way home. We'll try.
Is not what you end up
Oh.
doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly afraid of you for some reason.
Put skill points into interfacing to open this white check, so we can do it later. It's just right now it is locked.
Gotcha.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's actually a lot to read into here. Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
The mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do and not get canceled on my Twitch stream.
It was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Let's pop up in here.
Mhm.
Okay, so. Oh. Okay, I get what it is. So we can
Oh, so you
either
can
put a
pull it out.
point in any of the voices in our head, so to speak, or we can put a point. Oh, no, we can't. Okay, so we can't boost up the main skills. We can, however, level up one of these skills, essentially.
Okay. What are we thinking? And the abstract imagery is just brilliant.
Right. How about we deal with this off stream? That way we don't fill up the thing with us trying to find a level up. That shouldn't screw us up too bad, theoretically.
Yeah, true.
There he still is, looking right through you with his
Oh, are
white
you still
eyes.
gonna do this?
The body below is entirely
I feel like we
dedicated
have
to
to
that
in order to
cold
possibly
smell.
get it down.
Emitting it is all
Or
that does
would it be
now.
better for us to go ahead and put the skill point into endurance?
You might be able to.
See if we might be able to get a better roll on that. Looks like it's the first column, second from the bottom. Yeah.
Take the blows. Don't let the world kill you. And give it a shot.
Now, what does this do for our roll?
There he still is, looking right through
Still
you
low.
with his white eyes.
Yeah.
The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse
Yeah.
smell.
And we've
Emitting
stuck with it.
is all
but-
it does now.
No, it's fine.
Let's see.
The smell is
Ugh.
repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Try to walk away.
Ugh.
Fun.
Here comes the kitties.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it.
Thanks.
The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head.
Where do we get ammonia from?
There is Frit nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. If they don't,
He points to the greenhouse.
there's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Pretty clever.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Oh.
So in other
There we
words,
learn.
the smell currently is making it to where we can't get him down.
Not without a very high or a very good roll.
Okay.
Wait a minute, did we lock the box back?
I think we did.
Okay, do we want to give the key back to the guy now or keep it?
Yeah, we got everything out of it. We might as well.
Can I help you?
Here's your trash container key.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Found the victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Good.
It's very defensive.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait, I would go for the last one
Yep.
before that. Yeah.
Who else has keys to the trash container?
The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Bunch of boots. Shay. Bunch of boots.
Hmm.
And that was said behind two hands on my face.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Could someone on your staff have put them there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Thanks. Let's talk about something else.
Yes?
Oh, so we can't ask him about the clipboard.
Oh, the clipboard is us. So,
Yeah, but how did it get inside of the trash can?
I mean, theoretically, we probably
Can I help you?
threw it in the trash and then they...
What thing?
No, somebody inside would have had to pick it up and put it out
What?
there, right?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Are we going to try to sing karaoke? Is that what's going to happen?
At some point, maybe.
Yeah, we got to pay off that debt somehow. And wait until he sees the door that you ripped off. I mean, that's going to add at least 10, 20 more reels or whatever they are.
The street sign reads, F the police.
Gee, who could have done this?
A heap of snow melts in this wheelbarrow. Pigs go home. The street sign name is illegible.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with?
You sound surprised.
We don't see a lot of police around here. That's all.
I've got some questions for you.
Of course. What can I help you with?
My partner told me you may have some ammonia. Can we have some?
Sure. I'm done with it.
She takes a small capsule out of her breast pocket and hands it to you.
Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Of course. Where to?
Where am I?
What do you mean?
I'm a bit disoriented. This is Ravenquall, right?
Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
The lieutenant seems uncomfortable with the level of disorientation you are displaying.
No problem.
I suspect she had nothing to do with this, so I'm not going to ask her about that. Like, I feel like she's just taking her
I won't
break,
hold you back.
right?
Per
I
Gauss,
agree.
You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
One more thing. Can I borrow your gloves?
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
She hands you the rubber gloves with no visible annoyance. Thank you.
She's just too helpful.
I know, right?
I don't trust her.
It's almost like we're playing a point-and-click adventure game where you have to grab a bunch of random items in order to make a goal happen.
I see what you're doing there.
Okay.
Get ready to make the C words and happy.
Okay.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below
Fingers
is
crossed.
entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. The ammonia only makes it worse. The
God.
combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
The ammonia didn't help at all.
Nor does the wind right now.
You feel the lieutenant pat your back rhythmically.
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
This BS. I don't want to do this here. I want to be a cat.
Right? Why can't I keep it in if I've been a cop my whole
I've
life?
seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate. Throw up, initial autopsy. Throw up, bag it.
He pats your back again.
Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough.
You seem to be fine.
I think I've lost my sense of smell.
There's a pause.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too.
Do it without me. I just can't keep it down.
No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help.
He withdraws his hand and looks you in the
You
eye.
need to get your shit together.
Okay.
We should go talk to the locals. Find
But
something
I don't
else
wanna
to do
give my-
while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
Okay. So we can't get
You've
it down
gained
right
a
now.
thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it for special bonuses and effects.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Oh, so they're only locked for half an hour. I was thinking that they were permanently locked.
Okay. And game half an hour, not actual half an hour. Oh. I mean, do we just leave them on? We're just going to walk around with gloves on?
It's a strong statement. It is.
Let's do it.
I wonder if we're gonna get called out by Kim. It's like, you look ridiculous. Where did he say the apothecary was? Do we want to try to go there? And which we don't necessarily have any money to buy anything, but
Right. Volumetric S compressor. Temporary research bonus none. Research time 30 minutes. Your stuff is apart, and it's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together, compressed in a small area to achieve a solid level of...
compression.
There's so much I am having to censor just because of our usual... of that compression. Squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the 2 hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that will help.
Oh wow.
I do like it because I kind of get to be a bit voice actory with these, right? You're like...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Hilariously, guess what I've got to do? Gotta end this one exactly where the other one ended. If you guys want to find all of our other Let's Plays, head on over to tscn.tv/play. And until next time, play on in. See you guys.
Later.